way the musical Salute to Lily Tomlin was constructed was that I got this idea to take the Judy Garland, Dear Mr. Gable, You Made Me Love You, and make it into Dear Lily Tomlin. And Everything's Coming Up Lily, which is a parody of Everything's Coming Up Roses from the show Gypsy. And I decided to get Shelley Goldstein, who was working with me on my own show, to write the special lyrics in honor of Lily. But it was not just a parody of the two songs, it was also tailor-made for me and personalized in the dialogue. And I worked very closely with her to make sure that I got everything in that I wanted to say and that it hit on certain highlights of Lily's career and her great contributions. I really wanted to include, obviously, her signature characters, Ernestine and Edith Ann. I did my own little homage to them. Lily for President, a special that she did that means a lot to me personally. 9 to 5, SNL, Murphy Brown, The West Wing, all these television shows she did. I really wanted to highlight as much as I could her whole career, the search for signs of intelligent life in the universe, and I'm pretty sure we accomplished that. I love all of Lily's TV specials. I love every single one of them. I watch them all the time. I especially like Lily Sold Out because it was her, first time going to Las Vegas, and it was a parody about Vegas entertainers versus being socially conscious, being real. And, she had so many guest stars, and she created Tommy Velour, which was one of her male drag characters. I just really love that whole Vegas show business element. And then Lily for President is probably my favorite of all because I used to watch that with my father, Stanley Kramer. He loved Lily. He thought she was way ahead of her time. He just absolutely loved everything she did, her comic timing, her genius. We used to sit and watch Lily for President together, and it was our special time to bond. My father, Stanley Kramer, saw in Lily Tomlin parallel to himself. I mean, he was the voice of social issues in Hollywood all throughout his career, and she's basically brought that same element into her comedy. Also, she's a dramatic actress. She can play, dramatic roles as well as do comedy, and there's nothing she can't do. And I think she really broke ground with her specials because not all the time were they funny. I mean, a lot of times there were serious elements. It represented life. It represented human relations, and all the ones I even watch today, they're not always hysterical. They are very real, and I think that's what separates her. Lily is so funny, so witty, so brilliant, but she's more than just being a comedian. She elevates everything that she does by infusing it with her political views and social issues. Now, Lily has always been very socially conscious, and she has a lot of issues and causes that are dear to her heart. And I was so lucky to be able to work with her on 2 screenings in my series, one about elephants in captivity, which is probably her most personal social issue right now, and the other one was about bullying, a very powerful documentary called Teach Your Children Well, which Lily Tomlin narrates. So for me, I was so lucky and thrilled to be able to work with her closely on these 2 screenings, and she really helped me put them together, and she was so supportive, and she really believes in the issues. Gosh, how has Lily Tomlin not influenced me? I think she's a role model for so many people, certainly for me. She's always been ahead of her time, she's always taken chances, and she uses comedy to enlighten the world and also to raise our consciousness, and I think that's what separates her from her peers, and she's had so much longevity. By not following the pack, she's managed to influence many different generations. I had the best time. I love doing the musical Salute. I think Lily Tomlin should be honored every day of the week, and I have to say that I hope they ask me to do it again. I'm there anytime.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just thrilled to be here. My whole life, I dreamed that one day I would open for Lily Tomlin at the Pioneer Lunch right here in Studio City. Dear Lily Tomlin, I am singing this to you, for in studying your life, I've been a sleuth. A musical ovation to an unmatched inspiration, possessed of wisdom and eternal youth. and that's the truth. You made us love you. The work you did for Slaughter proved there was no one hotter. You made us cheer you on Murphy Brown, the best thing. Loved SNL and West Wing. The great white way, your way, brought evenings unsurpassed. Alone, you gave Broadway its best ensemble cast. And on the big screen, when doing Mr. Hart in or Killing with Steve Martin, the joyful scenes you paint, no constraint. Lily, you're my living saint. You're a song that sings delight with every verse. Perhaps the lone intelligence in the universe. That's how you made us love you. Ah, gee, Miss Tomlin, I don't want to bother you, even though I do email you 40, 50 times a day. You know, I tried calling you, but after 2 ringy dingies, this insane operator named Ernestine came on the line, and she said, I refuse to connect you. We don't care. We don't have to. We're the phone company. Miss Tomlin, I remember the first time I ever saw you. Why, it was right here at the Sportsman's Lodge. Yes, and the Patio Cafe. And you were sitting there reading a book. And I thought to myself, you were the nicest person in show business. I guess it was because you acted, well, so natural-like. Not like a real actress at all, but just like any girl you'd meet at the Sportsman's Lodge. But you looked at me, and you smiled. Yeah, you smiled right at me as if you meant it. And I cried all the way home just because you smiled at me. Oh, I'll never forget it. Miss Tomlin, I remember the first time I ever saw you on TV. I was too young for laughing. But I did see Edith Ann on Sesame Street, and I just loved how she sat in that big old rocking chair and talked about making disgusting sandwiches out of salami and cheese and tuna fish and oatmeal. And I knew she wasn't kidding, because she told us all right there. And that's the truth. I got all your albums too. I didn't know you were the first female comedian to ever chart on the Billboard Hot 100. You know, it's only happened 3 times before, and twice it was you. And you made so many amazing movies. But I have to say it was your one-woman shows on Broadway that made us all love you the most, right? In the search for signs of intelligent life in the universe, written so brilliantly by Jane Wagner. You won your 2nd Tony Award for your performance. Oh, I love this story. This is true. About the time that Meryl Streep and Barbara Streisand and my godmother Katharine Hepburn were all at the theater at one single performance. And Auntie Kate came backstage to congratulate you. And when you saw her, you grabbed her head and kissed it over and over and over and over and over. And I can truthfully say, Lily, it's a testament to how much she respected you that she didn't murder you right then and there with her bare hands. Others were not so lucky. No, she adored you. Or she liked to say, by golly, the Lily Tomlin is in bloom again. And I just love your social conscience and the way you protect endangered elephants. Of course, you know I know all about that because You were involved with 2 screenings for my series, Films That Changed the World. Elephants and Man, A Litany of Tragedy, and Teach Your Children Well, all about the dangers of bullying. Lily, you really have changed the world. And everything that you do makes our world a much better place. Lily for President wasn't just a TV special. No, as far as we're all concerned, you've always got our vote. You're the best. You're a prize. Playing women or children or guys. 9 to 5, 5 to 9. Day and night, you're divine. That brilliant star I sing about is you. Lily, thank you for caring, creating and thinking. You're still a giant when you're on screen shrinking. Thanks for a life that's left millions elated. Thanks for the work you and Jane have created. You're nature's most precious lily, and how we love you. Thank you, Shelley Goldstein, for special lyrics, and Shelley Martin for special music. Okay.
Oh, I want to thank Kramer for that wonderful performance. Going to that incredible effort to make that song and to deliver it the way you did, Kat, that was remarkable. And Shelley Goldstein, who did the special material, and Shelley Markham, who played the piano, but that was just stunning.